Do you ever feel paralyzed by possibility? Like standing in front of 1,000 doors, but knowing none of them will truly open. You think this video will change how you make decisions forever. You are constantly bombarded by choices. Which phone to buy? What career path to take? What to watch tonight? We treat choice like a superpower. But there is an invisible emotional cost that comes with too much freedom. This feeling drains your energy and steals your peace. We call it decision fatigue. You know the feeling. You start the day wanting to achieve so much, but by lunchtime, nothing gets done. Your brain feels heavy, sluggish. It's not just about making a bad choice once. It is about how the sheer volume of options weighs down every single moment. This weight affects your relationships and your sense of self. If you feel tired before you even start trying, if you constantly regret paths not taken, this talk is for you. Today, we break apart that feeling. We show you where choice actually costs us and how to use the scarcity of options as a powerful tool again. The modern world promises freedom through infinite choice. Every app, every shopping cart, every streaming menu offers more. And while more sounds good on paper, it is often exhausting in practice. This constant need to optimize everything leads to something called choice overload. It feels like drowning in possibility. You are always searching for the perfect answer or the best version of yourself. The emotional weight is immense. We think that better options mean a happier life. We believe that if we just search hard enough, we will find the single optimal path forward. This promise of perfection keeps us scrolling and researching forever. We gather data about everything. We compare every product. We look at every friend's highlight reel online. And then, when it comes time to act, we freeze up. We are not making choices. We are performing complex calculations that never end. We lose sleep analyzing the pros and cons of something minor. The stakes quickly become huge. You realize you are spending mental energy just thinking about options, rather than actually living a life. But there is one reason almost no one notices how deeply this process harms us. It's because we mistake effort for progress. The first thing to understand is that the brain craves closure. It loves when things have an end point. When you faced a simple choice as a child, say which toy to play with, the decision was quick. The energy expenditure was low. Your developing mind needed that clear finish line. This natural need for simplicity becomes deeply challenged by modern life. Consider buying something small. Say coffee beans. You open 5 different websites. Each one has slightly better reviews or a marginally lower price. You read 10 articles about brewing techniques. You spend an hour comparing the roast profiles and shipping options. The initial goal was simple: get good coffee. The actual cost is an hour of intense mental labor and deep frustration. The payoff here is realizing that the struggle for minor optimal choices drains your resources needed for major life decisions. Your focus narrows, but your exhaustion grows wider. This constant little battle with choice chips away at your confidence. It makes you feel inadequate in your own decision-making process. But the fatigue isn't just physical, it changes how you see risk itself. There was one thing this overload missed: that we often make choices to feel knowledgeable rather than to actually achieve something. We collect options like badges of wisdom. We want to prove that we considered everything. This makes us look informed, but often leaves us paralyzed and unable to commit. It is an emotional shield built out of excessive data points. This need for perfect knowledge creates a vicious cycle. You feel anxious because you might miss something important. So you search more. You read more articles. And the more you know, the larger the unknown seems, making your anxiety worse. The goalpost keeps moving further away. It never lands in front of you. The next stage is understanding how we use options to manage fear itself. Sometimes, choice isn't about finding the best way forward. Sometimes, it's a coping mechanism for avoiding failure. If I choose nothing, I cannot fail at anything specific. This is often called analysis paralysis, but that phrase misses the emotional core entirely. Imagine choosing a friend's birthday gift. You want to show you care deeply. So you look at hundreds of items online: a candle set, a novel, a hiking gadget. Each one seems perfect, yet none feel right. The sheer number gives you the illusion of security. If you choose something mediocre, you can always blame the choice, not your effort. This pattern is everywhere. It's in careers, where we look at every industry possible instead of committing to one field. It's in relationships, where we keep our options open because the fear of settling down is too great. The freedom feels good initially, but it creates an emotional hollowness underneath the surface. The surprising fact here is that commitment itself becomes a source of anxiety. We are taught that making a choice is permanent, that once you pick A, you permanently lose access to B and C. This idea of fixed loss traps us in perpetual indecision. We feel like we are constantly spending potential energy. But the deepest emotional cost isn't just the paralysis. It's the constant, low-grade regret for paths not taken. You look back at your life, at friends who chose different jobs, partners who went a different way, and you feel that ache. Not necessarily envy, but a profound sense of loss for possibilities you never allowed yourself to fully explore. The most powerful realization is this: the cost of avoiding choice is higher than the cost of making a bad one. Regret over non-action drains us far worse than disappointment from action. Action creates data. Data moves you forward. Inaction keeps you stuck in endless, exhausting thought experiments. We are wired for narrative. We need a story with beginning and end. The constant stream of options is not a story, it's merely noise. Finding peace means accepting that your story does not require every single possibility to be considered. It only requires the next chapter. The biggest shift comes when you redefine what good enough means. When good enough becomes sufficient, the overwhelming pressure evaporates instantly. You stop optimizing everything. You simply start prioritizing. You don't need more options. You need less noise. You need to trust your first good instinct sometimes.